who are back in the dating game and are looking for a little bit of guidance. Loni Harmon, a local dating counselor, is here to share a few dating rules to ditch. Loni, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so these rules are applicable to anyone of any age, anyone out there who's dating. Let's start with the first rule, which is embrace authenticity. Tell us a little more about this.
Yes, we want you to be your true self. So when you're getting to know somebody, they can authentically attach to you as well. So I know that sushi is like trending, like everybody loves sushi, it's like a thing, right? But if you don't love sushi, don't act like you do, because then you're gonna be stuck on sushi dates for years that you just didn't want to go to.
I love it. I mean, honestly, starting off a relationship with telling the truth is a good...
You'd think it was intuitive.
It's a good way to
Yes.
start. Let's talk about the second rule that you have, rejecting arbitrary timelines. What is this about?
So we have this thing in dating where we feel like we should know something by a certain amount of time. This can come from cultural pressures or maybe just something that we have inside our own head. But really, we just want to embrace the process, allow the journey to teach you whether or not you're in love with them, and just let it flow.
I love that, letting it flow. And I also love what you said. For people who are maybe supporting singles, these tips are good for you as well, because if you're pressuring someone, you know, to maybe change themselves, like the first rule or the second rule, to be like, well, you should know by now. There really are, I mean, no shoulds when it comes to timelines.
Right, there are, and I feel like there's a lot of people that have their eye on singles and their dating process, and they're trying to help in a positive way, but really they are just putting more pressure on the situation. We want to hear them say things like, I trust your judgment, and you will know, and listen to your heart and your instincts.
I love that. Giving the person who's dating the confidence to make their own decisions is huge when it comes to dating. And the third rule is to create a strategy.
Yes.
And this was interesting to me because I've never heard of like strategy with dating. So what does this mean?
Well, everyone is always saying, you know, dating's a game, dating's a game. And I always say dating is not a game, it's a strategy.
Okay.
So what that means is you're going to show up differently when you feel anxious. And so you need to have a strategy for how to reduce your anxiety and be present on the date. So I teach that in my courses and throughout my work here, is that I teach about how to be your authentic self, and then also creating that strategy so you can get through the highs and lows that come in early relationship building and get to the best parts.
All right, so really quick, what would be a strategy if someone was really anxious about going on a date?
I always suggest that they like take some cold water and just like hold it in their hands so they can kind of, you know, get their insides cooling down. Takes a couple of sips. That cooling thing, it's a really weird thing, but it will help your brain kind of stay present and not fly up to the anxiety scale.
I was just going to say, I know that when you use your sense of touch, that can bring you down to the present. That can make you calm. Dating doesn't have to be stressful. I remember back in the day, it felt very stressful until I got engaged. Where can we go to follow you and get more information?
I am on Facebook and Instagram at The Dating Counselor, and my website is thedatingcounselor.com.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for coming in. These have been great tips.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.